Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. In 2017, Dave Meltzer awarded an incredible 10 matches the hallowed 5 stars and above rating. Well, someone hold 2018's beer, because we got 14 Meltzer approved 5-starers and above this year. But what about our Philistine thoughts here at WrestleTalk? Luke Laurie and I, Ollie Davis, argued lots, drank beer, argued some more, and then I mostly overruled them to compile WrestleTalk's heavily disputed zero consensus. Where the hell is the North American title ladder match from NXT TakeOver New Orleans? 10 best wrestling matches of 2018. And start posting your favourite matches of the year in the comments below to make us feel bad about all the ones we left off.
Number 10, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch at WWE Evolution. First up, it's not the North American title ladder match. Surprise! It's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, last woman standing at Evolution. We chose this match for a few reasons. One, because Becky Lynch is the greatest thing to happen in WWE in the past year. Two, because this felt like some sort of catharsis, a payoff for the groundswell of fan support that surrounded Becky Lynch. And three, it proved that the women of WWE can easily hang with the men. Hell in a Cell, check. Royal Rumble, check. Last woman standing, big goddamn check. The match itself was a series of escalating violence spots with both women putting their bodies through absolute hell in front of a crowd who were super hot. Not only because this was the historic first ever women's only pay-per-view, but also because Becky had been robbed by WWE management on so many occasions that this felt like the moment where they finally started listening and caught on to the fact that she is the superstar, the main event, the man.
Number 9, Walter vs. Tyler Bate from Progress Chapter 76, Hello Wembley, from the 30th of September 2018. Hello Wembley was a big show for the British wrestling scene. It saw Progress put themselves on the map by hosting a major show from the SSE Wembley Arena in front of a huge number of wrestling fans who wanted to see some incredible action. And incredible action they got from an amazing undercard with, of course, the monster main event of the ring general Walter versus the big strong boy Tyler Bate. It's a testament to just how good these two are as wrestlers and storytellers, as this was not supposed to be the main event. Sadly for Progress, New Japan pulled Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay from the show and forced Progress to find replacements. And yet when British Strong Style accompanied Tyler to the ring and Timothy Thatcher and a group of violinists playing Ring Camp's theme came down with Walter, this felt like it always should have been the main event of Hello Wembley. Even though there was a clear size difference, Tyler showed just how much of a big strong boy he was by hitting German suplexes, the airplane spin, and even the Tyler driver on the big man. The crowd popped huge for every near fall and couldn't quite believe it when Walter retained after 30 minutes. It was a stunning match, and one that you can actually watch for free on Progress's on-demand service. I highly recommend you do.
Number 8, Moustache Mountain vs. Undisputed Era, NXT 11th of July 2018. This might be the best wrestling match example ever of a heel tag team working over one member of a babyface team. Moustache Mountain have won the NXT tag team titles a few weeks previously, and Undisputed Era had a great strategy for their rematch. Beat the living heckins out of Trent Seven for 20 uninterrupted minutes. After the crowd indulged in undisputed Moustache Mountain chants for the opening third, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly dropped Seven's knee on the steel steps and proceeded to strike and stretch it for the rest of the match. So many tag matches are based around the heels working over the babyface to build up to the eventual hot tag. That was brilliantly subverted here though, as the heels just kept on working over Seven, cutting him off, tagging Bate again and again and again. The drama ramped up a notch when Tyler grabbed the towel, and after an absolutely brutal, genuinely emotional continued beatdown, Bate finally threw it in, saving what was left of his father mentor figure's annihilated leg, but losing their tag team titles.
Number 7, Sami Calihan versus Pentagon Jr. at Slammiversary. If the last match was a clinic in tag team psychology, this match just left both guys in need of a clinic, or at least a bumload of Savlon. Sami Calihan and Pentagon Jr. took each other to the absolute limit during this mask versus hair match at Impact Slammiversary. Sami may have been shaved come the conclusion of the match, but I don't really think either man left the same as they came in, not after those railroad spikes. Sami and Penta absolutely went to town on each other with those, jabbing them into foreheads, tapping them into foreheads, and whacking them with baseball bats into foreheads. It was a bit sick, really. All in all, it is an absolute showcase of a hardcore match and was the perfect high point of a feud between OVE and the Luchas. It was also the standout match from a show that felt like the second coming of Impact and something that could actually be a viable alternative to WWE.
Number 6. Andrade Cien Almas vs Johnny Gargano, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Me here with NXT again, a promotion I really only watch the TakeOver events for, say how they consistently put on the best shows in the world, and then don't keep up with them on TV. I'm such a great wrestling fan. January's NXT TakeOver Philadelphia saw the beginning of the year of Johnny Gargano, where he would go on to main event 4 takeovers in a row. This match, however, was the only one without Tommaso Ciampa, facing the soon-to-be called-up then NXT champion Andrade Cien Almas. Different to Gargano and Ciampa's emotional blood feud wars, though, this had all the athleticism of modern-day wrestling combined with old-school wrestling psychology. Andrade's heel manager, Zelina Vega, interfered throughout the match for Johnny's real-life wife, Candice LeRae, to finally run out for revenge near the end. And after a great in-ring match, Johnny finally just fell short to Almas's draping hammerlock DDT. But despite missing out on winning the top title, the show closed on Gargano getting a standing ovation from fans as he left the stage, to be attacked from behind by that dastardly tag team of the NXT copyright logo and Tommaso Ciampa.
Number 5. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon vs Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle from WWE WrestleMania 34 on April 8th, 2018. This year's WrestleMania was a real mixed bag of emotions. There were so many weird things on the show, like the triumphantly returning Daniel Bryan spending most of his match on a stretcher outside the ring, Brock Lesnar surprisingly retaining his title, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura undelivering, and that 10-year-old that won the tag titles. But in that void of weirdness, there was a shining star, the mixed tag match between Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Some might argue that this does not belong on the best wrestling matches of the year, and in some ways you are right, but this was sports entertainment done to perfection. Everything about this match was sublime. Ronda was made to look like a total star. Kurt and Triple H relived their 2000 glory days, and the heels were made to look foolish by the babyfaces to the delight of the crowd. Triple H offering to fight Ronda Rousey and then getting his ass kicked is honest to God one of my personal 2018 highlights. I cannot stress this enough. This was sports entertainment done to perfection. With that said, it is weird to think that Stephanie McMahon has made it onto a list of the 10 best wrestling matches of the year. 2018 has been a weird old year.
Number 4. Kazuchika Okada vs Hiroshi Tanahashi, New Japan's G1 Climax Night 17, August 10th. 2018 has been characterized by some great blood feuds. The personal and professional rivalry between Charlotte and Becky Lynch, the blood feud of Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, but one of the best series of matches this year for me has been between Hiroshi Tanahashi, the man modern-day New Japan was built on, versus the upstart who dethroned him, arguably the best wrestler in the world, Kazuchika Okada. This was played out in an absolutely stunning trilogy of matches, with then IWGP Heavyweight Champion Okada retaining against Tanahashi in May, tying in the G1 Climax in August, and Tanahashi finally overcoming Okada to keep his Wrestle Kingdom 13 title shot in September. Meltzer rated all 3 at least 5 stars, but we're choosing their high-stakes 30-minute draw from August in the G1. Tanahashi initially only required a tie to advance in the tournament, with Okada needing a win, but while Hiroshi tried to grind it out at the start, his pride overtook him with a dramatic second-half flurry, where he thought he might finally be able to beat his longtime nemesis and prove that once again, he is the ace of New Japan.
Number 3. Walter vs Will Ospreay, OTT's 4th anniversary show from the 13th of October 2018. There was a lot of debate in the office about this match because if it was up to me, this would be the top spot. Walter versus Will Ospreay told a very simple and effective story. Walter is the champion of OTT, but he doesn't care about the promotion. He's just using it as a springboard to get a good deal from WWE. Will Ospreay, on the other hand, cut his teeth in OTT. He may not be a hometown star, but he's seen as one of OTT's own. And he's here to win back the belt and restore honor to the championship. It was a simple storyline that was told brilliantly during their bona fide classic wrestling match. Walter posing for the Rainmaker drew incredible heat against his Chaos foe, and Ospreay's comeback and superb set of near falls made a believer out of everyone in that building. Speaking of which, this might be the best crowd at any wrestling show in 2018, and I genuinely mean that. The heat that Walter got for dropping the belt on the stage and feigning an apology was a stroke of genius. This was a wonderful match with incredible drama and non-stop action. Two of the year's best at their absolute best. Check this one out.
Number 2, Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. 5 stars. Choosing which of the 3 pay-per-view matches between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano to put into this top 10 of the year was very hard, so we actually just put all of them in as one entry. But we'll focus on the final match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 as it's the culmination of this enthralling and exciting feud. In New Orleans, Johnny had won his job back. In Chicago, he had lost after going too far. So this last man standing match felt like we might finally see Johnny crack and go over to the dark side, especially as he'd accidentally helped Ciampa become NXT champion prior to this show, and we later found out that he'd attacked Aleister Black too. Not a stone was left unturned in this hard-hitting affair. Mats were ripped up, tables were crushed, Johnny was crushed when Ciampa buried him under ringside detritus. There were close calls and superb spots galore, but for the finale, Ciampa was handcuffed and just super kicked into oblivion by Gargano, who accidentally did his knee in while doing a running kick and lost as Ciampa rolled off the stage to win. The downfall of Johnny Wrestling felt complete, and so did this trio of near-perfect matches.
Number 1, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada for New Japan Dominion. Surprise, surprise! What is considered by many to be the greatest wrestling match of all time tops our 2018 Best Wrestling Matches list. Kenny Omega beating Kazuchika Okada to win his first IWGP Heavyweight Championship in June was the culmination of arguably the best series of wrestling matches ever, with their 3 2017 bouts having an average Dave Meltzer star rating of 6.08 out of 5. Their single 2018 encounter at New Japan's Dominion show was a 2 out of 3 falls match, the perfect conclusion to a feud that had seen each man get 1 win apiece, with a 60-minute time limit draw in the middle. After an Avengers Infinity War style opening video package for Kenny and his Bullet Club travails over the past year, which deserves 5 stars all by itself, Omega and Okada effectively wrestled 3 back-to-back 6-star matches over a 1 hour 5-minute period. In-ring skill, athleticism, and storytelling all combined to make this the perfect embodiment of wrestling as an art form, raising the bar for all future performers. Well, those are our highly disputed, come at us bros and sisters, top 10 wrestling matches of 2018. We are but 3 men with opinions though, so remember to post your favourites in the comments below. How about let's count down all the main roster WWE heel turns in 2018 now? Click the video on screen to relive at least several turns you completely forgot about. We've been WrestleTalk, and that was wrestling.